Welcome back to CryptosRUs. I am George. We're all George. So my voice is coming back, so that's good. But today I want to talk about August. We are moving into August tomorrow, start of a new month, and I have a plethora of data to show you guys why it's time to accumulate Bitcoin. And also, interesting battle going on. Vitalik Buterin of Ethereum slams Michael Saylor, calls him a clown. What's that about? Let's discuss these things. Smash up the like, subscribe to the channel. Make sure you hit that notification bell to get notified of all my streams. Follow me on social media. Check out CryptosRUs.com. And make sure you follow my other channels. The Clips channel, the I Am George channel, and the Reacts channel. Plenty of channels for you guys. All right, welcome, guys. Hopefully you guys are doing fantastic this Sunday morning, evening, afternoon, wherever you may be. Right now, you can see Bitcoin is a little, slightly under 24,000. But this is a good thing, actually. If you're looking at a 4-hour scale, Stochastic has dropped the bottom while Bitcoin's price has not moved. That's a fantastic thing. Bitcoin looks like it wants to move higher. I said right above this 24.3, which is a really, I guess, a local resistance that Bitcoin has not been able to break through. But once we break through there, wow, there's not much holding it back, that's for sure. I'm just going to draw right here. Right? So between here and up there, not much holding Bitcoin back, and that is what Bitcoin wants to do this week, it looks like. So we are definitely moving in the right direction, but in the meantime, while Bitcoin is consolidating here, altcoins have been going up and up and up. Global market cap going up ever so slightly, 1.1 trillion. Been noticing things like Polygon moving up close to $1 again, wanting to move up to that top 10 spot, and others have done pretty well too. Solana started moving once again, BNB close to 300, and of course Ethereum above 1700. So all coins are starting to move up in the same way, right? But that's not all. There's a lot more to come. A lot more to come. So before I get to that, what do we have to look forward to this week? What will drive things higher? Well, we know that S&P 500, NASDAQ, Dow has been doing pretty well, right? A lot of companies have been coming out their earnings. This week we have a little bit more. Last week, Intel had horrible earnings. AMD set to announce this week. So AMD is already a bigger company according to market cap than Intel. Think about that. I think the first time in its history. But why it's important? Because obviously AMD is very involved with GPUs, with Ethereum mining right now, right? So we'll see if they continue to grow. But others, like MicroStrategy is reporting today, obviously relating to Michael Saylor. MicroStrategy is reporting the block, which relates to Jack Dorsey and Bitcoin. PayPal relates to Bitcoin, right? There's a lot of big crypto-related companies set to release their earnings this week. So that definitely be a driver, a catalyst to drive things even higher, right? But we will see. But there's a ton of earnings this week. You'll see. Well, I'll go through more of that during my morning streams this week. All right. So there's that. Vitalik is seemingly attacking everyone these days. So before I get to the Saylor part, he does claim that, Mark and Facebook, Meta, whatever you want to call them, will fail at the metaverse. Okay? He does not believe that any centralized company, especially ones like Facebook, will be able to convince everyone to join in on their metaverse. I think that's true. Facebook has lost billions upon billions upon billions. They just lost $2.8 billion last quarter alone on their metaverse project. Last year, over $10 billion, right? They are just burning money at this point. And to be honest, I don't know what they're doing. I don't know what they're doing with their metaverse. I don't even know what their metaverse is. I don't know anyone that talks about it or has played it. So I really don't know what they're doing with the metaverse. At this point, they should just like throw $100 billion and buy Sandbox or something. I don't know. Yeah, I think that would be easier thing for them to do. I have no idea what they are doing with their metaverse. Other than Oculus, I know they have Oculus, but is that part of their metaverse? I don't know. I'm zero clue on it because I don't hear anyone ever talking about it. And jobs that relate to the metaverse are disappearing because they should. They shouldn't be hiring so much when they're losing billions and billions of dollars. So not good. Not good at all. All right. What else is there going that could help markets this week and why it's a good time to be accumulating? Bitcoin. Well, a lot of people's looking at the DXY. DXY, which is measuring the strength of the dollar versus other fiats around the world, right? And there's a phenomenon where when the DXY comes down, it's not a phenomenon, but it's a correlation. Whenever the DXY comes down, okay, and you could chart it. People have been charting it. You can see here's a parabolic move upwards, right, from the 80s up to like 110 almost, right? Whenever DXY goes up, it sucks the money out of everything else, including stocks and crypto. And whenever DXY goes down, the money flows back into them. And you can see right here, that parabolic move upwards, broken. DXY is starting to come down a little bit, right? And there's many people that are tracking this, like I said, charting it. You could chart it with a MACD. You could chart it with RSI. And a lot of people are making a case that it's about to come down. We know that DXY has been hovering very, very, very high. In fact, higher than 2017 levels or 2020 levels. We have to go all the way back to like 2000 to see DXY this high, right? But things are calming down. People are not as fearful these days, right? With the latest rate hike, with possibly dovishness of Powell, right? And everything else that's going on with better supply chain, with lower energy prices, people are starting to settle back into other things and not buying treasuries as much. And other fiats have been gaining a little bit of strength, and the dollar has been going down a little bit. And you add all that together, it does look like things are moving in the right direction, right? July was absolutely fantastic, not only for equities, but for Bitcoin. Here's one. It's a little bit harder to read. Unfortunately, I can't zoom this out a little bit more. Maybe I can. Yeah, I lied. Okay, I can. So this is showing Bitcoin's monthly returns. And I mentioned this before, but I want to put this into perspective, how bad it was. And you should pat yourself on the back if you're still here. If you look at Bitcoin's history, yes, there has been times where there are consecutive down months, okay? But usually they're tame. They're not as bad as what we just went through. And what we just went through was the 3 worst months in Bitcoin's history. April, we had a negative 17%, which is bad in itself. Then we had a negative 15% on top of that negative 17%. Okay. Then we had the worst month in Bitcoin's history, negative 37%. If you add all those together, you do the math, and this is compounding. This is not you just add it together as oh, it's like 50, 60%. No, it's 37% after the 15%, after the 17%, right? This is why the last 3 months it felt like hell. It felt like it's been 3 years because it's been down so much. But whenever things go down really, really fast, they tend to come up really fast. Just like the opposite. When things go up very fast, they tend to come down very fast, right? So we had a terrific July so far. And obviously July's not over. We can see more. But plus 19% so far in July, and that's fantastic. So August is looking like it could be a fantastic recovery month once again. Now, in terms of September, you can see September has been traditionally a bad month, right? And we do have another rate hike in September, so maybe there is more volatility in September. But seeing how far we have come down within the last 3 months alone, right? We could have a really good bounce back, a really good recovery this August and possibly into September. So this is something else I just want to show you guys, just to show you how brutal it has been the last 3 months. Now, I do want to recognize 2018 and 19, not easy either. Crypto winter, after that 2017 fall, look at 2018. It wasn't all consecutive. There were periods where you had spikes, right? But 2018, man, you had negative 25%. Then you had a little bit of green, negative 32%, but then you had a 33% gain. Then you got negative 19, negative 14, plus 20, negative 9, negative 5, negative 3, negative 36, negative 5. That was 5 straight months leading into 2019, negative 8, right? It was like a death crawl. But then you had a relief, a huge relief. Look at 2019, 11%, 7%, 35%. 52%, 26%, right? So it kind of wiped out 2018 in a little bit until we started going down a little more. But just to show you guys, we went through the 3 worst months ever for Bitcoin. But you know how I referred to how I've been through worse, and living through 2018, 2019, 2020 seems like it was even worse? Well, you could see it, how bad 2018 was, right? 2018 was horrible, and 2019 was not a walk in the park either. All right, so there's those things, right? So we got good things to look forward to. We are coming up from the worst 3 months, and of course, there's other great things I've been showing you guys. Percent balance on exchange, just reserves on exchanges skyrocketing. Okay, I've shown that before. This is an interesting model that measures the price relative to non-zero addresses, okay? So if you look at this, and the yellow is this price slash network ratio according to non-zero addresses, we have fallen to basically the same level as 2013. That shows you how undervalued Bitcoin is right now, how oversold it is. It's an interesting metric, but you could see clearly when the tops are formed, when the bottoms are formed, right? But we are at that point. We're going back all the way to 2013. Yeah, that's interesting. All right. Now, let's get to this main feud between Bitcoin, Maximus, and Vitalik. Michael is proud. He tweeted this, about a week ago. I am a Bitcoin Maximus, and he has been going on record, doing interviews, saying, I don't trust Ethereum. I think it's an obvious security, right? I mean, he's just attacking Ethereum, basically attacking. He's going now off. Before, Michael Saylor would just say, they're not for me. There's regulatory concerns, right? But he has upped his viewpoint now to kind of be like Gary Gensler, like everything is a security. Ethereum is obviously a security. Everything is security except Bitcoin. So, I'm going to stick with Bitcoin, right? Like that's kind of the stance he's taking now. And it's obviously irritating a lot of people. We all love to look up to Michael Saylor, but many of us feel like he's just wrong at this, right? That Ethereum, first of all, was deemed already a commodity by the SEC. So I don't know if they can actually just backtrack. It's still, according to SEC, they're still a commodity, not a security. But, there's just so many innovations that's happening in the whole space. Outside of Bitcoin, it's hard to just discount everything and say, okay, they're all scams and securities, and we should just ignore them all and just only pay attention to Bitcoin. In my view, that's just wrong because Bitcoin doesn't compete with everything else out there. And Vitalik, he couldn't hold back anymore. Okay, this is a great picture by you today. But yeah, he couldn't hold back anymore. He didn't directly call Michael out by his name, but you can tell who he's referring to. Why do Maximus keep picking heroes that turn out to be total clowns? You know he's talking about Saylor, right? He's not talking about anyone else. Heroes, I mean, Michael Saylor is one of the Bitcoin heroes now, right? So Vitalik, not a fan. Not a fan, and he has gone on record saying that Maximus make up stuff on purpose just to, just to bring down Ethereum and bring down others. But yeah, so there's that. There is just a whole lot of finger pointing and basically attacks, right? I guess there's just a lot of attacks going on, and ultimately, whether they're security or not, I think a lot of people are just confused by this. What if Ethereum is a security, right? Well, you got to think about all the major companies out there on Earth that are publicly traded. They're all securities. So does that mean something that's a security is bad? No. Google, Microsoft, Apple, Tesla, even Meta, whatever, they're all securities, right? But in this case, I think there's a negative connotation to be known as a security if Ethereum is a security, because Vitalik and the team wanted to create something that's decentralized for the people, and obviously a lot of dApps riding on top of Ethereum, like DEXs and DeFi projects, right? They want to remain open source. They want to remain free, right? Anyone could operate on them and no one is controlling them, right? So I think that's the thing. There's a negative connotation, and obviously if it is a security, guess who gets to rule? Gary Gensler. This is why Gary Gensler wants everyone to be labeled a security. If it was up to him, he would relabel Bitcoin back to a security, right? I think it's too late for him to backtrack and say, okay, we're reconsidering Bitcoin as a security. It's too late for that. Bitcoin is just way too big now, right? But he's trying to backtrack on everything, which is why he's so desperate to win this Ripple case. But the SEC is losing. The judges have ordered SEC to give out the documentation testimonies from the prior director already calling Ethereum a commodity. Why do you think they're fighting tooth and nail not to give that up? Because if they give that information, Ripple will use it probably to win the case, and then they will lose their leverage. Then they can't attack every other company out there and say, you're a security, you're a security, you're a security, you're a security. Going to Coinbase and suing them and saying, you're listing all security stuff. The SEC wants to take over everything. Things that aren't even in their jurisdiction, but they want to take over. Gary Gensler is power hungry, honestly, right now. That's what's happening, right? So this whole thing, throwing the security label around back and forth, it really all comes down to whether or not you want Gary Gensler to be controlling things. That's what it boils down to. All right. Moving on, though, but despite all this, despite all the FUD that's caused by Bitcoin maxis about whether or not Ethereum and everything else is security, ETH continues to trend away. It's doing really good in terms of its recovery, and in terms of people that's depositing in the Beacon chain is still sky high. And the new staking rewards, basically the amount of ETH that it will be released to the stakers after the Beacon chain is made live, is about 90% less than the number being released to the miners today. So think about it, right? In the future, in the near future, after September, the number of ETH being given out as rewards will be 10 times less than the number given out to the miners. And plus, you include burning in there. Basically, it makes Ethereum non-inflationary. It makes it maybe not deflationary, but it makes it kind of just set in supply. That's pretty significant going forward. So just want to let you guys know about that. And then there's other, of course, good altcoin news going on. I talked about Matic almost going up to $1. Well, it seems like there are whales that are just buying Matic. Right? They see the potential of Matic. There's a lot of worry about how Ethereum, I'll say, Michael. Ethereum 2.0 may make Matic or Polygon obsolete. That's not true at all. Ethereum still can't scale after moving 2.0. They still have ways to go to figure that out. But Polygon is still layer 2. It's fast. It's almost feeless. They got so much new technologies going on with ZK scaling and a ton of NFT marketplace on there. And I think that's why whales are starting to notice that and buy and buy and buy. What else is there? VeChain also. You guys know I'm a fan of VeChain. I didn't even know this. This came out a few days ago. VeChain removes transaction fee for dApp makers. Now, if you're using a dApp within VeChain's ecosystem, you don't have to pay any fees. No gas fees whatsoever. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. I don't know how they're going. Hopefully, they thought about spam attacks and bot attacks, because that's what Solana suffers. Solana have all these, denial of service attacks, DDoS attacks, because they're feeless, right? So I think how VeChain has it is only within the dApps, but if you're sending something across the network, then there may be a fee. I'm not quite sure. I need to do more research on it, but right now we know VeChain is trying to spread their wings in the West, move their headquarters to Europe, made a big partnership with UFC, and just really trying to grow their dApp ecosystem and DeFi, and these are fantastic things. What else is there? Sheeb is burning a lot. So supposedly 719 million tokens are destroyed or burned. I don't know who's burning it. It's like voluntary burning, but there's so many people that's buying it, and whales are buying it, and there's so many people sending it to this burn address. Quite interesting how that's working out right now, but just want to bring that out there. There's a ton of sheep burning going on right now. Also, Yuga Labs, the company behind, of course, the Bored Apes, Mutant Apes, their other side NFTs, right? But Yuga Labs also bought MeBits and bought Cyberpunks. So they're going to start taking a 5% loyalty on secondary sales. And I haven't heard them say the same thing about Cyberpunks, CryptoPunks. They'll probably start doing that with CryptoPunks as well. But I'm looking forward to their other side NFTs or other side metaverse to see how the NFTs actually relate, right? So there you go. All right, that's pretty much it. This week will be a big week, big earnings week, big week for Bitcoin and crypto and markets overall. I think we're gonna have some good things come, right? All right, let's do some Q&A. All right, scrolling up. Let's see. I am feeling, Y4U says, I'm feeling BTC feels like ... victory. Yes, I think, holding on BTC. I know a lot of people are getting on Michael Saylor's case, but regardless, BTC should be held. That's in my opinion, that's what it is. It's a store of value. It's a hedge against inflation. It's one that's created that to be better than gold, and I do think it is better than gold in so many ways, right? And it is something that is very scarce. There's a set supply, and it's the one that I trust will be around in 20, 30, 50 years, right? But with that said, I don't think that Bitcoin competes with really anything else out there. I think there's just a whole thing about these maxis that I think is spreading. I don't know. They're spreading their viewpoints, but I just disagree with a lot of those viewpoints. That's all. All right. Doge isn't security. It's trash. Well, Doge isn't. Doge is the grandson of Bitcoin, in case you didn't know. Litecoin is like the son of Bitcoin, because Litecoin was forked from Bitcoin, and guess where Doge is forked from? Litecoin. So if you think about it, Doge is actually like the grandson or grandchild of Bitcoin for whatever that's worth. Saylor's biggest clients are the establishment. Man, a lot of people are calling Saylor a clown. I mean, I think he means really well, but there's a lot of things he doesn't quite understand. Even though it seems like he's been in this space forever, not really, only been a few years, right? And he is below his average, but I'm sure a lot of people are too. But this whole crusade to kind of attack others now to pump up Bitcoin, obviously that's not working, and that shouldn't be the case. That's just my opinion. Let's see here. Slum Tech, welcome. Matic Mania. There's no reason not to hold both. Exactly. Why is dot pumping? No idea, because people are just simply buying it. Zach says BNB is such a massive project. No one talks about it. I just talked about that yesterday. No one seems to like BNB or talks about it, but they are number 5 on CMC. That's how big they are. Binance used to be the exchange everyone likes to hate. And people used to like to hate on CZ. And now they realize, well, CZ is actually not that bad. And Binance is actually a pretty damn good exchange. Now people are questioning SBF, Sam Bankman-Fried, and his world conquest, trying to take over every single crypto firm there is. And Robinhood. I mean, he's just going all out right now, trying to acquire everything. And that makes you wonder, right? Let's see. Do I have a be a Bitcoin maxi and miss out on a lot of alt gains? I mean, Rich, that is true. That is true. The troll grandchild of Grandpa PC. EOS is how ETH was scale. EOS, Ethereum Virtual Machine. I'm sorry, but EOS has been dead in the water, man. They still can't figure out some of their problems, like the 23 block producers, and how they can basically manipulate votes and collude. And there are many other Ethereum virtual machines already out, created by a ton of other projects. So no, that's not going to save or help Ethereum scale. After doing research in your stream with Ledger, I found out that while it's very hard, it is possible for Ledger to randomly generate someone else's 24-word phrase. Thoughts? I think you have to do the math. The chances of generating 24 words in the same order, I think the math of it is astronomically high. Just think about, and I don't know how many words they start with, though. So maybe it's not that high if the word bank they're choosing from is not that much, right? But I don't know that. But if you just think about just like at the Mega Millions, right? It's only 6 numbers. And a chance to win 6, to get it exactly the same, is 1 in 330 million. And that's 6. We're talking about 24. So it would be astronomically high, I'm guessing. But I don't know how many words they're starting, with the word bank, how many they have. But I don't think it's really something you need to worry about, to be honest. It's going to be interesting if Ethereum eventually passes BTC. Ethereum has a lot of competition, right? They can't falter too much. They can't have all these things they work on, stay in development for years upon years. But if they keep growing and they stay number 1 in terms of the L1s, maybe someday it can happen, right? But man, at one point in time, like back in 2017, 2018, 2019, 2020, I said basically it's impossible that Bitcoin will remain the top dog forever in terms of market cap. But 2021 really showed me, well, maybe that's not the case, because at Ethereum's peak, it was half the market price, half the market cap of Bitcoin already. So if it could get to half, I think it could close that half really fast if Ethereum continues to, or if there's new innovations that come out in Ethereum. You think about every innovation that has happened in the crypto space, where did it start? Ethereum. 2017 ICO days, where did it start? Ethereum. Tokenization, right? Where did it start? Ethereum. Where did NFT start? Ethereum. Where did DeFi projects start? Ethereum. Where did bridges start? Ethereum. So, I mean, without Ethereum, all these innovations, all these things that we have right now would not exist. So think about that. A lot of people do like to criticize Ethereum, saying it's so slow, it can't scale. But think about every single major innovation that we ever had in this space, besides having blockchain and wallets and a ledger with Bitcoin, besides the original, the OG stuff, everything else afterwards have been developed on top of Ethereum. So think about that. Do I hold in Cadena? Yes, I do. I do. Block 1 has been let go. EOS Foundation is going hard. So you're saying Brock Pierce is no longer involved with EOS? Because just him alone was caused a lot of controversy. Regarding the 24 word being generated, add a passphrase to the 25th. Yeah, you choose a passphrase. Yeah, I know that. Let's see. CatX is launching tomorrow. Well, that's good. I mean, it does seem like Cadena is relying a lot on CatX, though. I like to see other wallet makers embrace Cadena. I think that's their biggest drawback right now. I think CatX is a separate project, but every single wallet really is from CatX. Their mobile wallet that's coming out, their browser wallet. Cadena needs to draw more dApp makers and more wallet makers in specifically. Like get Trust Wallet to embrace them, get Ledger to embrace them, get some like well-known wallets to embrace them. I think that's holding them back right now. Where does the dollar DXY go to? Well, what do you mean? You mean where the money flows, or do you mean something else? I'm not sure. Yearn Finance, that's not something that I'm particularly interested in. But created by Andrew Crony. It's been hacked too many times. It's been hacked like 3 times before. So, and yield farming, just overall farming in general, not something that I'm interested in. Can we get a sneak peek of your studio? Yeah, I actually recorded. I've been recording a video. I'll put that out on I Am George pretty soon. But I have spent a significant amount of time the last few days setting it up. It's almost ready. It's a small room, but once you guys see the results, it'll blow your mind. It's going to be nice. I'm going to start recording a lot from there. Have you looked into third floor studios yet? No, I didn't. No. Thoughts on the Ape Yacht Club conspiracy? I don't know. There is one. Never heard of it. Why is the price of Solana much higher than Cardano, even though Cardano is much higher market cap? Because of the supply. Because of the supply. All these coins have different supplies. That's what circulating supply means. So market cap is derived by price times the circulating supply. You need to resolve gas fees. I don't know what you're complaining about. ETH gas fees right now is so low. So low already. Some people pay thousands to buy their their other side NFTs. That's high. Right now it's a few bucks. I think it's even below a few bucks, honestly. But yeah, that is something that moving to proof of stake will help a little bit with, and then obviously scaling, right? Scaling, once they truly scale, then fees basically go away. But yeah, the fees right now is way lower than before. Way, way, way lower. Big ups, yeah, that's right. All right, guys, I'll let you go. Overall, big week to look forward to, right? I do think there's going to be lots of things happening in a good way, and maybe we'll finally see Bitcoin break through at 24 and head to 29 this week. But regardless if it does happen, so many good things happening in the space, so many metrics that are showing good things. The fundamentals are growing. So as for time to accumulate Bitcoin, this is as good as a time as any. Don't miss out. Don't miss out on this recovery back up. And as for Vitalik and Michael, I'll let you guys decide. You guys leave your thoughts in the comments. All right. All right, guys. Thanks for tuning in. Take care. Bye-bye.